Somewhere out there, in a blackberry bush, there was a scraggly, flea-ridden, half-starved kitten. The universe looked at him and thought, this one deserves better. And just like that, the cat distribution system got to work. This is the story of how a kitten found in a bush became a beloved family member. It's heartwarming, and it's a little gross because it involves armies of fleas and a truly astonishing amount of poop. It started when neighbors near Shelby's home kept reporting the same alarming sight: tiny kittens darting in and out of traffic. Shelby, unwilling to leave fate in charge of the situation, set out with a kennel and some food and did what any reasonable person would do. She staged an ambush. The food went in the kennel. A kitten followed, and then the door slammed. The tiny feral kitten immediately launched himself, shoulder first into the kennel door, like a miniature, furious police officer trying to bust through the door. He was unsuccessful. Shelby had her kitten. He was terrified, understandably, so Shelby did the smart thing. She didn't force it. Instead of pushing contact on a creature who had every reason to distrust humans, she started slowly, offering wet food on a fork and letting him come around on his own terms. It didn't take long. Once Lint realized that this particular human came bearing unlimited food, the terror faded. And once he discovered that pets felt good, the little feral firecracker became a tiny, purring machine. But beneath that purring exterior was a kitten in genuinely dire shape. Ribs, spine, all of it easily felt beneath his coat, and that coat, it turned out, was hiding horrors. When Shelby noticed the flea situation, she gave him a flea bath. What happened next was not for the faint of heart. As the water ran over him, it turned red, because fleas don't just bite. They bleed their hosts dry, and Lint had been hosting what Shelby generously estimated to be an entire flea civilization, probably with its own functioning government. A whole village of fleas were pulled off him directly. Many more departed on their own in the days that followed. And that was not the end of the horror. Hiding underneath all that fur were open wounds that nobody had known about until the bath revealed them. With his hair wet, something else became clear too. His belly was enormous, not from health, but from parasites. The rest of him was a skeleton, while the belly was full of uninvited guests. When the tiny warrior dried up, off to the vet he went. There, it was discovered that he weighed 1.5 pounds. This fluffy little sweetheart was officially emaciated and officially a miracle for still being alive. The vet shaved the fur around his wounds and cleared them. They skipped the stitches on the elbow because the area moves too much and kittens heal surprisingly well. Lint got a cream to help his wounds heal and his skin regenerate. Now he just needed time, good care, and a lot of food. At least everyone thought so. He was quarantined in the bathroom, and he was quite comfortable there with unlimited wet food, cat milk, supplements, and as many pets as he wanted. And despite everything he's been through, the wounds, the fleas, the skeletal frame, Lint was in high spirits. He was, from the very beginning, an exceptionally good-natured little guy. As the weeks passed, Lint was allowed supervised visits outside the bathroom. Queso, Shelby's 1-year-old orange cat, was very happy when that happened. He was fascinated by the newcomer from the beginning, pressing his paws under the bathroom door, breaching protocol, completely losing his mind over this tiny new creature. When they finally met face to face, Queso looked like someone who had just won the lottery. Lint looked like someone who had seen a lot of other cats in his life and was mildly unbothered. He marched right up, tiny and confident, and Queso's crossed paws and astonished expression said everything. It was the beginning of a great friendship. Lint settled in beautifully. He started playing, he started climbing. He acted increasingly like a normal kitten. Watching that transformation from a creature too weak to hold on when you picked him up to a kitten chasing toys around the house was genuinely wonderful, except for the poops. The soft poops had been there from the beginning, chalked up to digestive damage from near starvation. But they didn't go away. And as the months passed, other things started piling up. Lint remained bloated and gassy after every meal. And he was perpetually, frantically starving, eating until he was dangerously full, and still trying to steal everyone else's food. It was as if his body genuinely believed it was still out in that blackberry bush fighting for survival. His weight plateaued. Then he started losing ground. His intestines were visibly inflamed. You could feel them through his belly. His bum became inexplicably greasy. The household started giving him more baths, then shaving his hindquarters. His litter box manners deteriorated entirely. The poop was relentless, enormous, and increasingly happening outside the box. The vet tried dietary changes, antibiotics, a hydrolyzed protein prescription diet. Nothing worked for long, and nothing really worked at all. A blood panel eventually showed thyroid levels consistent with hyperthyroidism, which is almost exclusively a disease of elderly cats, not kittens. Shelby was deeply suspicious. She put Lint on the medication, but it never sat right with her. So she did some digging, reached out to a nuclear thyroid clinic in Vancouver, and was told by the vet there what she had already suspected. Hyperthyroidism in a kitten could be a symptom pointing somewhere else entirely, and the symptoms Lint was showing sounded very much like a malabsorption problem. She was strongly encouraged to see a specialist. Back in November, doing her own research into feline gut disorders, Shelby had come across a condition called EPI, Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. The symptoms had matched Lint's so precisely that she had brought it up with her vet. It was considered unlikely given how rare it is in cats, and other possibilities were pursued first. But Shelby kept pushing. She requested a referral to an internal medicine specialist and eventually got one. The specialist agreed with Shelby's suspicions immediately. Blood was drawn for a specialized TLI test, one that had to be sent all the way to Texas for processing. The results were delayed by an ice storm. Shelby waited while Lint continued to be uncomfortable and baffling. And then the results came back. Lint did have EPI, as Shelby suspected. His pancreas was not producing the digestive enzymes needed to process food. Everything he ate passed through him largely unabsorbed, which explained the constant starvation, the soft stool, the bloating, the weight loss, all of it. His body had been working overtime just to extract the bare minimum from every meal and losing the battle. The solution, it turned out, was not complicated. Enzyme supplements added to his food before every meal and B12 injections. Within 4 days, the change was visible. The frantic hunger softened. The stools normalized. The bloating settled. Within a month, his weight had nearly doubled. Within a month and a half, he was a different cat, filling out, playing properly, comfortable in his own body for perhaps the first time since he'd wobbled out of that blackberry bush and into Shelby's life. Lint is still a little guy with a lot of catching up to do, but he is doing it, steadily, enthusiastically, and with the same unbothered good nature that got him through all of it in the first place. The cat distribution system knew exactly what it was doing when it sent this kitten to Shelby. She did everything to help this guy. She researched, she looked for the right answers, she trusted her gut. Thanks to her, he got his chance to live his best kitty life, sharing it with loving humans and Kesto, his best friend forever.